Let this symbol denote the greatest integer function if the domain of the function fx equal to cos inverse 4x plus twice of greatest integer function of x divided by 3 is closed interval alpha beta. Then 12 of alpha plus beta is equal to, these are the options. Okay, so this question is from chapter function, and the function is greatest integer function to be discussed. Also inverse trigonometrical function also need to be discussed over here. So let us start the solution. Very easy question, as I have written the function over here. Now let us begin our discussion. Now you know that for the trigonometric function cos inverse x to be defined, the value of x must lie between -1 and 1. Yes or no? For that reason, here in our case, the 4x plus twice of greatest integer function of x divided by 3 must lie between -1 and 1. Clear? If you will cross multiply, you will get -3 less equal to 4x plus twice of this. Okay? And before moving further, I would just like to discuss the greatest integer function. Greatest integer function is what? The immediate lower integer which is on left side on number line. In shorter, I can say that immediate lower integer than the given number. Okay, that is, for example, if I say 1.3, then its greatest integer value will be 1, and if I say minus 1.3, then its greatest integer value will be -2, because by definition what I am saying, immediate lower. So 1.3 lower integer is 1 on the number line, immediately lower, and minus 1.3 immediately lower integer is -2. Yes or no? Is there any problem? Now one more thing you would always confusing about the why the name greatest. Greatest means you can replace it with immediate lower integer on the number line, on the left side of the number line. Okay, but the word greatest is given because there are so many numbers which will be less than 1.3. Can you name them? Like 1, 0, -1. Yes or no? Among all these numbers, 1 is the greatest. So the name is greatest integer function. Similarly here, -1.3. So many integers are less than -1.3. For example, -2, -3, -4. But -2 is the greatest. So this is the reason the name is. One more thing you have to understand over here, that the number x can be written as the combination of greatest integer function plus the fractional part of the function. Okay, so and here one condition is there, that fractional part is always lying between 0 and 1. 1 is not included, otherwise it become a whole number. Okay, so and it is a positive, greater than 0 or equal to 0 it can be. Okay, so here in our example, if I take 1.3, so I can write it as 1 plus 0.3. So this is your greatest integer function of x, and this is your fractional part of the x, and this is your x. Clear? Similarly, if I say -1.3, so I can write -1 and -0.3. But you know that the fractional part cannot be negative, so I have to make it positive. For that I will need one calculation. For that I will add 0.3 plus 1 minus 1. Okay, so what is the benefit of this is that our fractional part will be taken by this 1 minus 0.3 will give you 0.7. and the greatest integer value will be taken by -1 -1, that is -2. So now you can write it -2 plus 0.7. Now it has become in the format of greatest integer for our number -1.3 plus the fractional part of the -1.3. Clear? I hope it is very clear. Though all these details are not required over here, but the concept must be using in this question. Okay. Now come to the basic question which we have. We were on this point. Which point we were on? We were on this point. Till now we have got this result. Okay. Now let us see how to proceed further. So we are on this point. 4x plus twice of greatest integer function of x less than equal to 3. Okay. Now I can write 4 and in place of x, this one, sorry, don't use this bracket, we'll use this. We can write this plus fractional part of greatest integer function of x plus fractional part of x. Again, sorry, twice of greatest integer function of x less equal to 3. So -3 less equal to 4 of greatest integer function of x plus 4 of the fractional part of x plus 2 of the greatest integer function of x less equal to 3. -3 less equal to 6 of greatest integer function of x plus 4 of fractional part of the x less equal to 3. Now we will start our calculation. Okay, discuss each point one by one. If your greatest integer value is 0, now it happens when when x is less than equal to 0 or less than 1. In that case it happens. So our this inequality will be giving you as this, that -3 less equal to 6 into 0 plus 4 fractional part of x less equal to 3. So you will see that -3 less equal to 4 fractional part of x less equal to 3. You can also see by this -3 by 4 less equal to fractional part of x less equal to 3 by 4. But the fractional part of x is always have a limitation. What is the limitation for the fractional part? Previously I have shown you that this will be greater than equal to 0 and less than 1. Clear? So for that reason here we can limit our range 0 less equal to fractional part less equal to 3 by 4. This is here no problem. So you will be getting it as, now your x is becoming, if you use the formula that greater function of x plus fractional part of x, using that the lower limit will become as 0 plus fractional part is 0, that is 0, and the upper limit will become, for the same formula, this is 0 but the fractional part is what? 3 by 4. So 3 by 4. So this is your 3 by 4. So, and it is equality sign because less equal to 3 by 4. So here in this way you are getting that your x is belonging to 0 and 3 by 4 with closed interval. Clear? This is one point. Now we will discuss, if greatest integer function is x, we have 0, we have discussed. Okay, this point we have discussed. Now we will discuss x equal to 1, then we will discuss x equal to -1, and based on those values we can discuss x equal to 2, or you can discuss this equal to -2 and so on. Let us see where to take a break. So come to the point again. If greatest integer value is equal to 1, then see what happens. 1, it becomes when it is less equal to 1 and less than 0. In that case, its value will be clear. Sorry, 2. Sorry. I'm very sorry. Okay, when it will lie between greater than 1 and less than 2. Okay, thank you for paying attention. Now, in this case, let us discuss the same point which we have got it from your Sukkam. So, minus 3 less equal to 6 into 1 this time, and plus 4 into that fractional part less equal to 3. So, you are getting 6 into 1 is 6 plus 4 into fractional part of x less equal to 3. So you will be getting as minus 6 minus 3 less equal to 4 fractional part of x less equal to 3 and minus 6. So this will give you minus 9, 4 fractional part of x less equal to minus 3, minus 9 by 4 less equal to fractional part of x less equal to minus 3 by 4. You can see that here our this condition is being violated, this condition. Okay, so we will simply omit this condition, we will cancel this condition. Okay, not possible. Clear? Now I will check for then it will not be possible for greatest value as 2 also. Okay, so we cannot go above it. Now we test for the minus 1. So let us see. If greatest integer value is minus 1, then what happens? Minus 1 happens in which condition? When it is your x is lying between 0, means minus 1 and 0. Okay, in that case its greatest integer value will be minus 1. So using that above inequality, 6 into minus 1 plus 4 into fractional part of x less equal to 3, minus 3, this is minus 6 plus 4, greatest integer value of x and 3. So this time 6 plus 3, sorry 6 minus 3, because minus 6 will becomes plus 6, and this is 4 fractional part of x and 3 plus 6. Then this will, you will get 3 less equal to 4 and this, and you are getting 9. So if you will further solve, you will get 3 by 4 less equal to fractional part of x equal to less equal to 9 by 4. So here there is, what is the restriction? Here you can write it that 0 less equal to fractional part of x less than 1, so not possible. Now here if we apply this condition that fractional part is lying between 0 and 1, then you can see that the lower limit we have no problem for the fractional part, but upper limit, because this will give you a 4 2 is 8 point 2 is 8, and this time 2.25 means it should be less than 1, but it is less than 2.25 it is saying. So we will just limit ourselves, we will do it on our own only, less than 1, sorry, less than only 1, not equal to, only less than 1. Okay, so in this case, see what will be your x value. Now your x, using that formula, greatest function of x plus fractional part of x, what you will see for the lower limit. Here x, you are taking minus 1 greatest integer, and fractional part for the lower is 3 by 4. So it will give you minus 4 plus 3 upon minus 1 by 4. Okay, and next time this will again minus 1 will be there, and here you will take as plus 1. So this is given to a 0 value. Okay, equality sign is not there, so we'll take our interval as that x belongs to left side, it is with equality sign minus 1 by 4, and here it is without equality sign. Okay, this is the condition. Now we will check for the x is equal to greatest integer value for the minus 2. So see, if greatest integer value is minus 2, then what happens? Whether there is a break or not. This case happens when x is lying between minus 2 and minus 1. Okay, so our inequality minus 3 less equal to 6 into minus 2 plus 4, that is fractional part of x less equal to 3. If you will simplify minus 12 here, minus 12 plus 4 fractional part x less equal to 3. So 12 plus 3, here 9, and here 4 fractional part, and here you will get 12 plus 3 is 15. Okay, so this you will get 9 by 4, and this is fractional part of x, and this is 15 by 4. Now since your this condition that fractional part of x is always lying between 0 and 1, where 0 is included, 1 is not included, but in this fraction which we are getting here is this is 2.25, just now I have said, and this is more than that also, again more than 4 3s are 12, and then 4 7s are 3. So a fractional part cannot be like this. Okay, so we will again, this option will also be cancelled. Okay, so we will cancel this option. Okay, not applicable. So our the part which we require is this part and this part. Okay, so by this you have got x like this, 0 and 3 by 4 closed interval, and from here you are getting it that x is belonging to closed interval minus 1 by 4 from the left and open interval up to 0 from the right side. So if you will combine these two, if you will combining equation 1 and 2, okay, now I will write combining equation 1 and 2, you will get that x is belonging to minus 1 by 4 and 3 by 4 closed interval. Okay, because 0 is being included in the equation 1. Clear? So if you will compare it with your question, alpha and beta with closed interval. So alpha is minus 1 by 4 and beta is 3 by 4. Okay, so alpha plus beta will be minus 1 by 4 plus 3 by 4, which will give you 2 by 4, means 1 by 2. So 12 into alpha plus beta, very simple, 12 into 1 by 2 to 6. 6 is the answer. Now see which is the option. 6th option is your, so far we have come option A. So option A is correct. Okay, you will just write this also, that option A is correct. That is very important, otherwise you will not get marks. Now the solution you are looking it as so big, but it is not so. I have just done it for you to understand in detail. Okay, if you have understand, you can do it in 1 minute or maximum 2 minutes. Okay, thank you.